but if you want, I mean, you can also send us some pictures, nice ones. So
Okay, so it's okay. So the video is okay. It's not gonna be needed, yeah?
no.
Okay, then it's fine.
Thanks a lot for joining this interview. Let me find the questions. Where are the questions that we prepared so well? Okay, so I know some of the answers, but I will ask anyway, right? So we're gonna do it properly. So, what's your name, please?
My name is Ever Herrera, and I work here in Xing as a technical director.
Very good. You also answered my next question.
Exactly.
You've done this before. Very good.
Yes, exactly. I've been in your side.
Why did you send your developers to ReactJS Academy training?
So for two reasons. First of all, it was a present need, a current need. So basically, I felt like my team needed somehow a way to standardize the knowledge or somehow put at the same level my team. So then when we talk about React issues and concepts, when we talk about advanced things, we all know that at least we know more or less the same things at least. And second of all, then why Lean.js or React Academy is mainly because I knew you before. So we've done some things together, and I know you do very good the teacher part. So I thought, okay, why not? I think he would be a very good fit for what we need. So I got in contact with you.
Cool, thank you. Thanks for the nice words as well. So I guess I don't know if maybe you already answered this, but what did you expect out of the training? Like tangible things that you expect from the training?
So first of all, to put the bar at the same level. So make sure that everybody knows the minimum advanced about the advanced topics. Second of all, to put the discussion on the table. So also to all of them to start discussing certain advanced topics all together. So I cleared the space, and I'll also set it on a way that we have an expert on there, so we can start discussing at the right level and having someone who's going to guide us with this, and also to put all the information needed so they can start doing the things the right way, so to say. So one thing that I didn't expect that we were going to be is like we were already quite experts in certain areas. So obviously I wouldn't expect from this course from 1 week to have an expert and get it to a super duper React developer. That's obviously to me an impossible thing. So my expectation wasn't that. My expectation was more in the line that everybody knows the same thing, and there are some people who they are going to be more like they're going to have a harder time, or they're going to be more enlightened, or they're going to get more information, and there are people who they are going to make sure they are doing the right thing.
Nice, thank you, good answer. What did the developers say about the training?
I suspect that it was quite okay. Some of them, they found it really, really good. Some others, they found it really good for knowing what they're doing. It's right. What they're doing, they are taking the right approach. So in that sense, but in any case, all of them, they learned something. They learned something new, and they learned certain. So they polished certain things they thought they knew, but now they know a little bit better. So that was the minimum, and the best case. Actually, many people that these have a team, they felt it really good. They felt it like, okay, we've learned a lot of things, and it was very good for them to have a whole week paid by the company, and more of even the time to spend this time together and with someone to give guidance there. So they found it really, really useful.
Nice, thanks. What were the pros and cons? So I know I know Sheen sent 3 developers to the bootcamp.
Yeah.
And I also know you were not at working with Xing at that time.
Yeah.
But if, to your knowledge, what are or were the pros and cons to on-site training and the bootcamp?
Yeah. So I would say a bootcamp, it's more for when you have less knowledge. So anyway, you're going to learn anything. And so at the beginning, you're going to end up with minimums already there. So you're going to meet the minimums, the requirements for you to start developing in React and then to grow from there. Whereas in an in-house, you have the opportunity to actually tweak it and get the most out of it. That's first thing. So they will understand that, as I said before, it's really hard to find a good advanced training on any technological topic, on any technology topic. So to say, let's say we're going to talk about databases or we're going to talk about Elasticsearch. And if you bring your ready expert team on Elasticsearch to an Elasticsearch course, probably it's gonna be hard for you to find a course there. So the fact that you're doing it in house gives you the opportunity to really put your team also. Empower your team to more or less have shaped the course a little bit, which is what we did. Somehow we worked with you, and so we had the opportunity to shape it, so to have it in a way that it was more suitable for us. So there are certain things that they are not like, okay, these things we know it, so we glanced through that, and there were some others in which spent more time, and it was down to them to do this. So I think, and the long time, I think the more we do this, the better we get at these things. And saying, okay, so you have your own teacher that comes here and helps you with the thing. It's like having a coach rather than anything. It's like, imagine that you're in a gym. In the end, if you're in a gym and you have a coach, if you are this skinny guy like me who doesn't know anything about doing sports, the coach is going to tell you a lot and you're going to follow it through blindly. But the more expert you are, you need that person to guide you in certain things, but the hard work is going to be done by you anyway.
Mm-hmm. Very good answer. So in actually in your training, there were some days at half or a little bit of half of the training at the end was allocated for actually like this idea of coaching, where we look at the projects you guys were working on, and we discuss some of that code base, and we gave some directions.
Yeah.
Do you see that was valuable to do this kind of exercises?
Yes, it was. But the first day, I got to know that we were a little bit dizzy. We were a little bit, we didn't get it ready so much. Is what I was telling you before. So we should have done some pre-work there, so we know more or less what we're going to be talking about. And so we make the most of that time. The first day, they say, it was a little bit like, okay, didn't know exactly what to work on, what the things to do. The second day was a little bit better. So I believe that by the afternoon first day, on these 2 days, it was a little bit better as well.
Okay.
So I would say we could have done better, but the idea remained positive and remained good. Remained like this is the way to go forward.
So you think a way to improve it is by preparing more in advance? What are those topics that we are going to cover in the coaching sessions?
Exactly. Maybe, for example, narrowing the scope. So to say, so okay, if it's going to be about this and this, so let's going to see what parts of the code we want to work on previously to that. Maybe to have just one thing to work on, like a workshop on something specifically, like capstone or something. These sort of things.
That's good to know. Actually, on a side note, and I did the first day actually, so I feel more like related to that. The first day that there was the coaching session, and in my view, it was actually good because we didn't know anything about what to work on, and we gave them, especially some of the teams, like a few 2 or 3 things to work on, and they split. They organized well themselves to say, okay, I work like, especially like team with there were 4 or 5 people, so they split in 2, and some work on something else, and so others work on another thing. And from my view at that time, it looked like they knew what to do, but it looks like they were actually maybe, I don't know, they maybe require more direction. Also, I think it was the end of the day, and I don't know, maybe people were more relaxed. I don't know. But
yeah, I think it's that. So the moment you change from one style to the other, it looks like an interlude. So people get a little bit more relaxed, and therefore you lose a little bit of time there, and then you get used to again to the same speed. Okay, now let's gonna push it again. So maybe being a little bit aware of this and try to say, it's like, again, like the coach in the gym. You know that we are gonna change from one thing to the other. So unless that going down on the speed, it is already for you something you want it to happen. It might be actually interesting just to say, okay, now I'm gonna push a little bit extra because I know they are gonna stop the performance. They're gonna degrade a little bit.
Okay, that's interesting. And also maybe I'm also reading that if one day we do one thing and the other day is the coaching, like we separate different days. So when we start the day, it's like, boom, this is what we do today. Is that what you're also saying?
Yeah, maybe that could work. What I'm saying is something like, if you are foreseeing that we are going to have a decrease in the performance because of the context switching,
yes,
it might be a good time for the coach, in this case you, to say, I'm going to have somehow, I'm going to foresee it and do a technique and do something in order to have them still performing the way it should. So to have them focused on the same way. So to say, maybe being totally transparent to them and saying, hey guys, I know that now you're gonna relax a bit. Just follow through with me. Don't fall down. Don't step out, and just stay with me here.
Cool.
Some things like that. I don't know whether that's actually the way. That's more down to you. You're the expert. I'm just saying that somehow that could be in the end. It's a good opportunity for you to get the team more focused, because you know that the performance is going to degrade, as what you said, where you're going to switch context.
Yes, very good feedback. Thank you, Ever. So how has the training affected your team's productivity and motivation?
Motivation, for sure, very good. Productivity, too soon to say. So for now, more or less, let me explain you how it works at Xing. Now in December, that's why it was the best time for this. We are closing the year. We have a lot of things like kickoff now. We are in this week, we're going to go for the kickoff in Hamburg, all those things. So we are changing and shaping the new teams. Every year we change the teams, so we make sure that everybody works in every project, and also with every different developer, so in different teams. So now we're shaping the teams, we're shaping everything. What it's for sure is that in terms of motivation, they are really motivated now. We have got what we wanted, which is now they are discussing things on a different way. Now they are more into, let's kind of do the things the best way possible, and without compromising the speed. That's also something they have always on their mind. But they are changing this way of approaching the way they do the things, also with tests and everything. So now you can see them willing to do the tests and willing to do it well. Not only willing to do the test, which is something they had in mind before, but now they have more like, I now want to do it well, not only do it.
Awesome. Nice. Thanks for the answer. Why is it important for Sheen to stay tech relevant?
Well, we are a tech company. Without that, we're nothing. So that's basically the thing. Our product is a tech product. There's nothing more than that. So the only thing we work with is data and a nice UI and a nice interactions and nice product in that sense. So that's what we deliver. So we need to stay relevant in there. We need to go fast, and we really believe that the only way to go fast and well, it's doing it with the right tools and using the tools the right way. So obviously, there's no other way to do it.
Yeah, very awesome answers. Thank you, Ever. So next question. What is the business value for sending devs on our ReactJS Academy training?
So the business value, it would be the two things. First of all, getting the knowledge and making sure that the team now works on a much better way, so there's no gaps in between them. So you know that everybody knows the minimum that we also, now when we talk, we all know what we know. That's a very important thing. It looks like it's a very simple thing, and it's a very simple idea anyway. but it works really well when you talk about spreading the knowledge. So you have saved a lot of time in there. So the business value is that you're saving money overall. So you get the end result in a week instead of in a year. So that's one of the things. On top of it, that's a moving target. So knowledge is a moving target, which means that we now know that everybody knows more or less the same things, at least at the minimum. But in a year time, that would happen again. People will start moving, and people will not be in the same place anymore. So we'll need to do these sort of things every now and then. So that's one of the things. The second one, and I don't know which one is more important, is the motivation in itself. The fact that they now believe of themselves that they are better, and so they deserve, and we deserve to do better, means that they change a little bit their mindset, the way they do things, and somehow it shakes the tree. So let's say for those who were falling behind a little bit, they now have a feeling of, okay, now I understand why I have to do better. Now understand that there's so much more to it. Like, for example, doing testing. I use testing a lot because that's one of the obvious things, but there's many more, like questioning why you're doing the things the way you do it, like whether to use Redux or not. Somehow it might look like, okay, it's a no-brainer, you use it. No, it is not a no-brainer. You have to always think about why you use the things you use, and there's always a reason behind. So you have to remember that when you start doing, every time that you do something, you have to think about the whys. And the course is very much about the why, more than anything. And that's a very good thing. So you learn the whys of everything, why you test, why you use this technique, why you use this other technique, when you use them.
Awesome, thank you. You're like hitting all the hitting all the boxes, man. You're amazing.
It's like in your brain.
You're like, it's saying everything like we had in the plan, right? So just a quick note on that. I think actually I could also perceive, because we do trainings in different places, that there is some sort of collaboration between them. Like they do, sometimes people will not do much pair programming. Some people would finish the exercise and just start doing something else. But in the case of you guys, and I've seen this in other companies where, you know, people help each other. And I can also say that they also feel supported by Xing. So they like, there is this, I think, maybe culture or environment where like they feel supported. And I think that's one of the reasons you also maybe give this kind of trainings and motivate. I think it's like a cycle, but just for you, like I think they feel good working at where they work.
Yes, they totally should. I mean, we've got in contact before, you and I, and you know that there are different environments. This environment, it has two things. One is they care. The second is they can care, so they can afford it. So that's a very good thing. So when you have the mix of these two, that's a very good thing. Probably these two, they come together, so you cannot have one with the other. But the fact that here in Xing, we do the things like we care about this culture. We have a collaborative environment, and we invest on this way. It makes it so in the end, it pays off. And
okay, cool. So
that's very hard.
Yeah. So well done. How has the training benefited you in your role?
Well, many ways. So first of all, politically speaking, so now my team loves me more. To say.
Love metric.
Uh-huh.
The love metric goes up.
Exactly, the love meter goes up. That's for sure. They see that I have gone through from talking to taking action. So that's a different thing. One thing is saying, guys, I care for you, and I want you to do self training, which is something that I always encourage and give the time. So one thing is saying it, one another is giving the time. So we give here the time for them to train. But I also have cared of saying, okay, you're missing this. I want you to go from where you are now to a place where you are better programmers, and I'm gonna help you to do this. And my way of doing it is preparing this course for you and allocating the time. So there's two things that they were not easy in this. One of the things is getting the money, so to say, so getting the budget for doing this course. So we have money now for doing these things, but that doesn't mean we get it for free. So I have to work in order to get this. I have to justify that this is what we need, and and I have to prepare and do all that thing. And there's one another take, which is I have to get 1 week of all these people out of whatever they are doing. So that's actually even harder.
Yes.
Sometimes
convincing these developers that it's worth that time, especially those roles that are, senior developers. They are expensive. They produce, so it's like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing that is not so easy. So having done these things help me to show them that I care ultimately, and that the company cares as well, and I can deliver. So that if they trust me, I can deliver. I can deliver to them what I was expected to. So that's a very good thing.
Yeah, that's good. I guess as a manager, you can you can demand when you give and then you get back, right? That's probably
exactly. Now I can come and say, guys, I'm not seeing the test I was expecting to, and then they can only say sorry and keep trying.
Come tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. It'll be done.
Exactly, something like that.
Cool. We're almost done. Where do you see the value in one-on-one training?
That's interesting. First of all, when it pays, so depending on the price. So I think it's gonna be very hard. Obviously, if I could, I would do one-on-one trainings as much as I can. But so I don't believe that it's gonna be. It's not gonna be in terms of price. It's not gonna be okay, because obviously, unless it's really like you get one person really ahead and then that person gives training to the rest of them, I don't think in the end it's gonna pay off. It's going to pay off. I think it's gonna be a very hard product to sell. Honestly, you have thinking about these sort of things, but depends on the price. But probably people are gonna be willing to pay that much.
Yeah. Well, we actually it's not that we sell this thing, like it's not like I buy this one-on-one for I don't know 5 hours, but we try to give as one-on-one as we can in our trainings.
Okay.
So like it's kind of part of the package. I guess the question is like if you see value in having that, regardless the price. I think we need to leave there somewhere. We have like 1 minute. We have 1 minute. So I'm going to ask you the last question.
Yeah.
No, I have 2 questions. What are the perceptions of our teaching staff, the trainers?
Yeah.
What do you think of us? Like I'm not listening, so you can say whatever you want.
Yeah. Now, very good, very good. They were really happy. You were really close and easygoing, and but you look like ready, like good teachers, like experts, not like this is the first time you do this.
Thank you very much. And the very last question is, they're kicking out from this room in WeWork. What would you recommend our training, the ReactJS Academy training, to other tech leads? And if so, what would you say?
Absolutely, I would. And I would say if you want an expert course, I would recommend go this style. Go for an in-house training where I know that they can talk to you and you are very, very open to shape the course in order to help the team. Because ultimately the good thing is that Lean.js looks for helping the company, not for making the money. Or just making the hours. So that's something that I think it's very valuable. And that part that is not really seen so easy in the sense that, like, for example, in here, the ones who were in the course and didn't attend the sessions that we did before, they didn't see that. But I saw it, and that there's a lot of value there, that you spent some time before making it easy for us to shape it. That's for advanced course. For beginner course, also, it's a very good thing because it saves a lot of time. but I'm not sure about that part. So in doing beginner courses, there's many ways for depending on the level of the people who's gonna the pupils, basically the people who's gonna be there. So if the people there, they are already good engineers, so they are seniors already. They could learn React and certain topics by themselves, at least at the beginner level. But when it is about juniors at all, full juniors, I think these sort of things, they also pays off a little bit. That's only counting in the sense of the skills and the knowledge you acquire. When you talk about motivation, I think it always pays off in terms of motivation. So it's a no-brainer if you have the money and it's okay. And what you want, it's put the people into the feeling. So to say, if you tell me, would you pay for your team for this sort of training rather than going for a conference? I would say yes. I would like it more than a conference. I think it's way deeper. You learn a lot more, and in the end, the team gets back way more rewarded. They feel more rewarded. So absolutely, I would always put this in front.
Thank you very much, Ebert. I can just only say thanks a lot for your time, your insights, your feedback. You're making me really happy. So yeah, I do appreciate this, and I hope to see you in Barcelona next time I go and we run some meetup.
Yeah.
And, take care, man, and thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Ciao, Alex.